Hi friend, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for purchasing my card kit. The first card we're going to be making is this Bloom Shaker window card that I really love. This technique is so easy and you get to cover a large surface area with a small amount of thread. It's almost like coloring, so I really enjoy it. So first, I cut my acetate sheet or window to fit the cutout card that I chose. There are many options in the kit, so you can choose the one you like, but I'm using the flower. And I'm using my glue included in the kit to attach the acetate to the front of the card panel. We press it down just to make sure everything is adhered properly. Okay, now I'm going to use my foam tape, and this is going to create all the little wells for me to put my thread to form the colored part of the card. So I'm putting down my foam tape now. In this instance, I didn't double my foam tape. I just used one single layer of foam tape. Okay? And as you can see, I have to cut my foam tape into smaller pieces in order to fit the tape between the little petals, right? Because we're gonna do that to ensure that we have nice demarcated color. I'm using one color for the petals in this card, but you definitely can use more than one color. And doing it this way with the wells will really help you to do different colors if you choose. So now we have our thread rolled up, and you're just going to cut a small amount bit by bit. Cut the thread into small pieces so you can have these little fuzzy pieces, and I'm zooming in a little on it so you can see it better. So we're going to be cutting so we can get some small kind of fluffy pieces in order to fit these in our shaker. And the idea is when you have them smaller, you can get better coverage and more control of the pieces. So I've cut up all I need for the 5 petals as well as the center. So I'm putting yellow in the center and pink thread on the 5 petals. Okay, and I'm using my hole punch or my paper piercer rather, to help me spread the thread out to cover the entire area of the petal, right? I'm trying my best to cover as much area as possible. The thread tends to stick together, so that helps with the coverage, but sometimes it also impedes it because you have to be pressing out the thread to ensure it's laying flat and not too clumped together, right? So that's why I'm using my paper piercer. Right, so we're just filling in the petals. As you do this, just try your best to keep them in the little wells because we don't want them to get attached to the tape too much, okay? So keep them within the little wells that we formed with the foam tape. All right, so I'm just going around, just pushing some thread back in, and I'm removing the foam tape from the different areas in order to adhere the card to adhere a piece of paper to this card front to trap all the thread and ensure nothing moves, right? So I'm just removing all my foam tape in order to do this. And as I go along with removing the foam tape, I am pulling pieces of thread that are loose or stray threads, pulling them back into the group or into the bunches to help prevent too much thread from going on the tape. Now you're gonna have some thread on it, but that's okay. We just want to make sure that there's not too much where it would prevent us adhering the paper. So now I'm just placing the backing down on the card, and there we have it. We have our window in. So now I'm attaching the words. I'm using the sentiment bloom, but definitely there are many sentiments in the kit for you to choose from. This I am placing on a vellum backing with glue, just ensuring that lines up with the vellum backing. And I think these words are so dainty and so cute, right? So the bloom comes in 2 little pieces, so they have to be separately glued. So that's what I'm doing right now, taking off the excess glue just by placing the die cut in my palm and adhering it to the vellum outline, using my paper creaser just to press it down to ensure it's adhered properly, also applying weight to it. So when it's dry, I'm just going to arrange them on the card and adhere them. I have some little baubles here as well, half pearls that I'm going to be using to embellish this card. Okay. So now I've adhered all the words and embellishments to the front, and I'm just adding some double-sided tape to the back of the card front in order to adhere this card front to a card base, right? And that's as simple as it gets. Remove the double-sided tape, rubbing it down so it's properly adhered. I find that it's much easier to remove the backing after you have kind of burnished the tape down with a bone folder, right? So it's much easier. So removing the tape, and then I'm going to be adhering the front of the card to a 5 by 0.25 by 5.25 card base, right? Or 5.5 by 5.5 card base. So that's the card. Thank you so much for buying this kit, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.